up, y'all? I'm Megan, and I'm a branding designer. Today, I'm showing you what my packages include, how much I charge for them currently, and what the brand guides look like if you book with me. I'm going to start by telling you all about Tier 1, which I call the Branding Bronco. The Branding Bronco is for beginner or bootstrapping businesses who have a really big vision, but they're going to be DIYing it for at least a little while. So it's about $2,000. It can be a week to about a month in time, depending on how long revisions take. It is for entrepreneurs, DIYers, people who are going to be building out their own Canvas, running their own social media, people who just really need the logo to start. Basically, you do get fonts, you do get colors, you get alternate logos. So it's not just a logo. It is enough to DIY the rest yourself if you need to. Tier 2 is what I normally book and is what I recommend the most. I call it just the branding starter kit, nothing revolutionary there. But it includes all of the same, except it has extra logos, all the fonts, the colors, custom icons, custom illustrations, and it includes if you need packaging design or a template of some kind, as well as a very in-depth brand guide that is well over 20 pages, sometimes as many as 50. It really depends. This one is $5,000 to $8,000 in an investment, and it's perfect for like coffee trailers, coffee shops, hair salons, like a bar. It's perfect for online personalities and yoga studios, places that maybe aren't entirely digital and actually have an experience to brand. So you need far more than a logo. You need a way to show your brand in every possible way. This one is my favorite to book, and it's the one I book the most personally. I love my branding starter kits. Tier 3 is the full experience and strategy. It is way more in depth. It comes with way more deliverables. It can be $10,000 to $20,000 depending on the different collateral that you need. It is perfect for people who need merchandise design, product design, packaging, the full branding. They need the brand guide. They need marketing strategy. This is for like a trailblazer or a team of them who have investors, are already in cash flow, they're in hospitality, or they're starting a multi-product e-commerce business. That is what that is for. So if you see the price and you're like, whoa, like that's out of my budget, that is for somebody who knows what they're doing or has like a bigger team around them for sure. I also have add-on packages. You can do a Canva or Adobe Express build out where I put your brand in, link everything for you, and build out templates. That is about $2,000. Or you can add on a custom Squarespace website, and this is perfect for a smaller business or a service provider. I can build that Squarespace website for you and hook up all the Google stuff. If you want to see what these projects actually look like behind the scenes and what the brand guides look like, stay tuned because I'm about to go through a few of them with you and show you what the process looked like from start to finish. And if you've watched this so far and you're like, wow, your prices seem high, like why would I trust you? I've been doing this for a while. I know what I'm doing. If you want to look at some of my past work, it's on my website, bymegburk.com. You can see that I've worked with people like Yellow Rose by Kendra Scott. I did a rebrand for them earlier this year. And I've worked with quite a handful of coffee trailers, all of which I love, and the kinds of people I like to work with, which would be Hazel Coffee Co. in Michigan and Cenizo Coffee in Austin, Texas, in Easton Park. In both instances, they are incredible business people, very kind people, and I really loved bringing their businesses to life with them. Next, we're going to go through a Branding Bronco and what that included. This was a Branding Bronco client of mine. They teach like yoga, dance class, blend things, and it's incredible. I actually did attend one of her classes and I loved it. This is the two logos. There's like a brand mark and the primary word mark layered here. This was the scope of the project: primary logo, logo mark, color palette, the type selection, and some social media direction, but not really like templates or anything that in depth. This is a note I always leave about the file types. I try to explain it to people because it can get complicated fast. And I don't even always upload the CYMK and the RGB. Like, I tell them to just reach out to me and I happily help them with projects in the future because it is so complex to send them that many files. Every brand guide starts with a strategy. Like, what was the goal behind the whole thing? And what am I using as a tool to tell the brand story and to help market the brand? In this case, I decided to look up the definition of embody, and it was incredible. It gave me some resources. The definition of embody is a verb: to be an expression of, or give a tangible or visible form to an idea, a quality, or a feeling. And this defines her whole brand. Like, taking the feelings in you and feeling them, letting them go, feeling them, letting them come over you. An expression to an intangible thing like a feeling. It's her brand. coming from that, right, it says giving a visible form to an idea or a feeling. I thought, well, how do you visually communicate that, right? And I came with the idea to use light in that way. So looking at the definition gave me the idea to use light as the visual storytelling tool for embodied. We can use prisms, rainbows, refraction, and similar visual cues to visually tell the story of embodied. With these details, we can show movement and transformation even in still graphics. And so this image to the left kind of showcases what I'm explaining in a couple of different ways. It showcases movement, bodies, light, things that are ethereal in a very visual way. Now let's go into the logos. This primary logo, Chef's Kiss, I'm very excited about it. Here's some more info on the full logo. This is the brand mark. It is, if you can't tell, a lowercase e, and the goal was for it to feel very swoopy and to have so much movement. I can see this being animated a million different ways. I'm very proud of it. More info on the brand mark, which is also the favicon. Now let's go through the branding elements that bring this all together. The color palette. She really wanted to use orange and green because of the sacral and throat chakras. Wait, heart chakra. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. Well, anyways, orange and green, okay? So I really wanted to do that, but I didn't want it to go too earthy and sort of mellow. I wanted it to feel very vibrant and full of action and energy without feeling like a gym. So these were the colors that I picked for her. And these were the typefaces and fonts that I selected for her brand as well. I initially at one point was using like Futura and some other fonts to give it a very 70s sort of lean, but we ended up going a little bit more modern and geometric. Garrett is very much the same vibe as the font that I stemmed her wordmark logo out of, but it is a different font. Now here's a brand technique. We both really gravitated towards a play with words and photos where they interact with each other in designs. Now she's using Canva for her stuff, and I didn't build out Canva templates for her. So I tried to give her tools that she could really use. And the photo inlay technique is the easiest way to do that quickly and allow her to implement it to many different templates that might already exist in Canva. I drew a bunch of bodies because she didn't have like a photo shoot in the brand colors yet. So I thought, well, I'll give you a bunch of silhouettes and we'll find a way to use them creatively. So we have the logo here, which she can photo inlay, but also these poses as well. And I tried to pick very freeing, very dynamic movements that are simplified enough that if you zoom in, they become abstract. So you can use them small or you can use them really big. In her Canva kit, I also told her, here's some backgrounds. You want to use things that have texture, have motion, have some medium hues and values to them, because you want to use this like lighter yellowy color to pop the text off the background. And so that's why I showed her these. And then I didn't do templates, so I'm kind of showing what social media would look like with her branding, using the fonts that I recommended, along with some photos that also have these like double exposure effects, these glowing looks, these motion blur effects. And here again, showing what real covers could look like. Really bold, really simple, very eye-catching. And she's gonna have an online space for her classes, so I wanted to show her what video covers could look like as well. And Instagram stories. Those are my favorite every time. I love Instagram. And then she was saying that a photo shoot might feel overwhelming, and I said, I got you. Let me help you build a little deck to show a photographer when the time comes. And these are all of the references from Pinterest that we had both been saving separately. So I said, we're on the same page, girl. This is what we did. I always link to a Google Drive folder where the final assets go. And that is an example of a Branding Bronco project. I also wanted to show you behind the scenes in my Illustrator files for this project, because we had such a journey from the beginning to the final logo options. This was the first thing I ever did, and I used this font called Refract. Something about the split O just felt like a body, it felt like movement, it felt really dynamic and in bold without being too like masculine. And we actually barreled forward with this for a little while before totally changing directions. You can see I was really into the lean of these like rhomboid shapes and triangles, and I was using a slightly more neon orange at the beginning as well. But the initial logo felt a little too blocky, so I had to go on such a journey to figure out a way to put more movement into it, more meaning into it, more flow. And as you can see, I tried about everything. I was like, is it the refracting, like the prism look? Does it have the appearance that it's moving or rolling? I tried a bunch of different fonts and so many techniques, y'all, for real. Eventually, I realized that the split O was not going to work, even though I was really loving it. And I settled on this middle one that's white. It just felt a lot more swoopy. I used the pencil tool and my Wacom tablet to go in and hand create those curves to specifically mimic the shapes that I was going for. The lowercase e mark was one I was really proud of, honestly. I sketched that one on a road trip. I was in the car and I was like, wait, I have an idea. So yeah, that's the journey that this logo had. I'm so glad you stayed till the end. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you learned something or had a good time today. I'm Megan again, and I'm going to post some more videos soon with other projects that had either different deliverables or more deliverables or just other vibes. I actually really had a fun time making this video, and I hope you had a fun time watching it. Stay tuned for more, and if you're interested in vlogs, let me know, because I have always wanted to do that, so I might do that. Anyway, thanks for being here. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. Bye.